Very important topic about the transportation in human beings talks about the heart as the pumping organ. So this topic is very important because there is so much of information being connected over here. So let me explain it stepwise process what is actually happening in the heart pumping of blood. So heart, as I told you, it is like a closed fist. When you close your fist, whatever the size, that is the size of the heart. And this heart is going to pump oxygenated as well as deoxygenated blood. And to prevent the mixing of this deoxygenated and oxygenated blood, there are given as chambers. So there are chambers or compartment, so that will prevent the mixing of blood from one compartment to the other compartment. And also there are valves that will prevent the backflow of the blood from one chamber to the other chamber. So this is the basic outline. And moreover, what is the purpose of blood that is pumped in the heart? Why the heart is pumping the blood? What is the purpose? You can say that the blood pumped by the heart, so that the blood has to reach all the parts of the body. That is the ultimate function. Along with that, what are the other things that is the purpose that is fulfilled by the heart? First thing is, as I told you already, the carbon dioxide is one of the byproduct that is produced in each and every cell due to different kind of metabolic pathway. So as a result, what happens, this carbon dioxide that is produced in each and every cell has to be removed out of the body. And how it happens, as I told you, that blood vessels will carry the carbon dioxide rich blood and comes to the heart. And from the heart, it goes to the lungs for purification. So what happens, we can see that every cell has carbon dioxide that is produced, and the veins carry deoxygenated blood, and that reaches the heart, and from there heart it is carried to the lungs. And I already mentioned that pulmonary artery is the artery which carries impure or deoxygenated blood or blood rich in carbon dioxide, and that is the word pulmonary artery. And thereby, what is the role of lungs over there? It removes or eliminates the carbon dioxide through the alveoli. As we discussed already, alveoli exchange of gases takes place. So through the lungs, the carbon dioxide is eliminated out of the body. Second purpose of the heart is that now the lungs, apart from eliminating carbon dioxide, it also intakes the air rich in oxygen, which is also present in the alveoli. And from the alveoli, it has to reach each and every cell of the body. And who is going to do that purpose? So from lungs, the oxygen rich blood is taken by the pulmonary vein, and from there it goes to the heart. And as heart is the pumping organ, it will pump the oxygen rich blood to cells and different organs of the body. So this is the main purpose that is happening. When we say pumping blood is a general function, but specifically the blood, carbon dioxide rich blood has to be removed out. Next purpose is that the lungs lungs contain oxygenated blood. So we would have discussed already, lungs contain alveoli, in that the oxygen is diffused. So this diffused oxygen which is available in the alveoli, that is inhaled, is taken to the heart. And who is doing this purpose? Who is doing this work? It is done by the pulmonary vein. And I have mentioned that all the veins carry impure blood except pulmonary vein. So pulmonary is the word denote it is coming to the lung or from the lung. So pulmonary is with the connection with the lungs. So this is the vein that carries, this is the blood vessel. Pulmonary vein is the one which carries the oxygenated blood that is available in the alveoli and produce it to the heart. Now what happens from the heart? It is distributed to all the cells in different organs. So this ends up with the purpose of why the heart is pumping the blood. And what is the purpose when I'm talking about? It is the carbon dioxide rich blood that is present in different parts of the body, and each cell which is produced CO2 has to remove out. That is from the heart goes to the lungs, that is removed out. Again what happens? The lungs is getting the oxygenated blood. Alveoli contain oxygen rich blood that goes to the heart, and from the heart it is distributed to all the parts of the body, and it is called as double circulation. Why it is called as double circulation? Because the blood comes to the heart 2 times, and we'll talk about the pulmonary circulation and the systematic circulation. So how the blood enters the heart? Two times we'll discuss about that. First, we will talk about the right atrium. So we have four chambers. There are four chambers present in the heart, and what is the purpose of four chambers is that to prevent the mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. So the upper two chambers are called as atrium and the lower two chambers are called as ventricle. And here you have the left and the right. So always your left side is the right and the right side is the left. Even in your textbook you can see your left side is written as the right atrium and right ventricle. Your right side is written as the left atrium and left ventricle. Now what happens? The vena cava. So I told you all the veins carry impure blood. So vena cava are the blood vessels, veins which carry the impure or deoxygenated or carbon dioxide rich blood from different parts of the body. So when I say upper vena cava carries blood from the upper part of the body and lower vena cava carries blood from the lower part of the body. And this deoxygenated blood first reaches the right atrium. Different steps happen. We'll first discuss about this. So it first reaches the right atrium. So what happens here in the right atrium? Once it reaches the carbon dioxide rich blood, it expands and receives the blood. And from here, right atrium, it goes to the right ventricle. And these are the valve called as the tricuspid valve that allows the blood to flow from right atrium to right ventricle. Right atrium to right ventricle. Now, from right ventricle, where this blood has to go? It has to go to the lungs. What is the purpose? Because this blood is rich in carbon dioxide. If it goes to lungs, then what will happen? The alveoli will send the carbon dioxide rich blood through exhalation process. And who is going to carry this blood from right ventricle to the lungs? It is the pulmonary artery. And I told pulmonary artery. So this pulmonary artery will carry the blood from the right ventricle and send it to the lungs for the purification process. Now this is how the deoxygenated blood reaches the lungs. Now the oxygenated blood that is present in the lungs has to come to the heart, from heart to different parts of the body. So how this process is going to happen? It is carried by the lungs lungs containing the oxygenated blood is carried by the pulmonary vein, and this vein carry impure blood except pulmonary vein. The oxygen rich blood that is present in the alveoli is taken by the pulmonary vein and reaches the left atrium. I told you right side is left side is right. So this is my right side and this is left atrium. And from there, you have the valve called as bicuspid valve that will allow the blood from the left atrium to flow in the left ventricle. And what is the purpose of these valves? To prevent the backflow of blood. So from right ventricle, the blood is going to pulmonary artery. And again, if you see from here, it is going to aorta. This will prevent the backflow of blood to the chambers. And as the blood comes from left atrium to left ventricle, this is the oxygenated blood. And what is the purpose of this oxygenated blood? It has to reach every cell of our body. And who is going to do that purpose? The blood again from this ventricle is pushed flows into the chamber called as aorta. So through which the blood flows from the left ventricle to through the aorta and reaches different parts of the body. So this blood is rich in oxygen, or the oxygenated blood that has come from the lungs through the pulmonary vein. And if you see double circulation, I told you about the double circulation. That is 2 times the blood enters the heart. So one is the pulmonary circulation. Pulmonary circulation means what? The blood coming from the lungs to the heart. Again, systematic circulation is from the different parts of the body. It reaches the heart. So from different parts of the body it reaches the heart. At the same time, you can see that the lungs also sends the blood, pure blood. So these things takes place simultaneously, and that you call it as the circulation that is taking place in the heart. And we can see the blood pressure, that is because of the systole and diastole. Vertebrates have 4 chambers, and thereby mixing of blood like oxygenated and deoxygenated blood mixing is not possible. But if you see in case of amphibians or reptiles, there are 3 chambers and there are some chances of mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. And whereas if you see in fishes, there are only two chambers, and there are possibility of more mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood between the chambers present in the fish. So this is the overall outline about the transportation system in animals, where we have discussed about blood, the blood vessels, and the pumping organ called as the heart. So when we talk about the blood, it contains the liquid part called as the plasma, and then the pumping organ heart, and discussed about the role of each compartment and the vessels carrying blood to the lungs and coming from the lungs, and the blood vessels like arteries, veins, and the capillaries. And next we will discuss about the transportation in plants. Hope you had some information about this video, and we'll discuss about transportation in plants. Thank you.